Fast RMX is one of the handful of indie games available for the Nintendo Switch at launch. It's the $20 sequel to one of the latest indie games to come to the Wii U, Fast Racing Neo, that was released back in late 2015. Fast RMX is more of an evolution of Fast Racing Neo, not so much changing the entire game's formula, but rather improving a lot of what made Fast Racing Neo already great. Gameplay is pretty straightforward. You're put into these races with 3 laps, and throughout each track there are orbs that raise up your boost gauge that you can then use to speed up your vehicle. There are also some speed pads all over the track in either blue or orange colors. As the player, you're supposed to change your vehicle's color to match the speed pad. As the name of the game suggests, it's all about being fast on your feet and quick with your reactions. Fast RMX is split into 3 main game modes, the first one being Championship Mode. Championship Mode is the game's story or single player mode that has you compete in different cups consisting of 3 tracks. At the end of each cup, your points are tallied up, and if you make it into the top 3, you'll earn a cup to compete in along with a new vehicle to use. There's a total of 10 cups with 3 tracks in each one, each taking you to new places with different biomes that really show off the visuals of Fast RMX. Upgraded from its predecessor, Fast Racing Neo, Fast RMX runs at 1080p 60 in TV mode and 720p 60 in portable mode. For reference, the predecessor ran at 720p 60 on the Wii U. Tracks like Storm Coast that showcase the insane looking weather effects in this game shine beautifully and show off the game's visuals that this game along with the Switch can really pull off. Those weather effects along with the outrageous speeds you're driving at really make you feel immersed in the driving. Each track has its own music, which ranges from pretty decent to forgettable. When tracks do match up with the environment well, it truly makes the game feel more immersed, while other tracks just feel like background music going on while not really feeling unified with that specific track. Overall though, the game features heavy techno music that I think most fans coming from F-Zero or Wipeout will appreciate. Now let's move on to the Hero Mode. This is another single player game mode back from Fast Racing Neo that challenges you to come in first place, while your boost gauge now changes to a boost/shield gauge. This game mode challenges you not only to come in first, but also to do it without dying. It's a really fun and interesting game mode, especially for anyone that wants more difficulty out of this game already outside of the Championship mode. Every single player mode, so Hero and Championship mode, come with 3 difficulties consisting of Subsonic, Supersonic, and for the daredevils out there, Hypersonic. While Hypersonic is still incredibly hard, I found it to be much more fair than Hypersonic mode in Fast Racing Neo that at times felt more like impossible than just challenging. Now the last game mode is Multiplayer mode, and that can be played with either local split screen up to 4 players, online mode that lets you compete with other random players online, and lastly local multiplayer mode that has you play with other Switch players nearby with wireless communications. Split screen worked well in my testing, and I never really saw the game start to chug or struggle to handle the gameplay both in tabletop or TV mode. The same goes for the local multiplayer, where my roommate and I were able to maintain a stable connection while playing a few feet away from each other on our Switches. Online mode is a bit different though. First off, at the time of writing this review, there doesn't seem to be any form of being able to connect directly with my friends online. I only see the option to play with random matchmaking, something pretty disappointing because the predecessor had friend matchmaking. Hopefully this is just because Nintendo launched their online service really recently, but only time will tell if there's a patch for this game in the future. For now though, it's missing and I have to report it. Additionally, in my first few matches I found many players lagging terribly, to the point where my game would say I was in first place, only to find out I was actually in second place when the race ended. My next few matches afterward didn't have that issue, but it's just something I wanted to take note of. I also ran into this weird bug in the Iceland stage where I ran through the floor somehow, and the bug did reset once I crashed, but I haven't been able to recreate the issue ever since. But again, it's something I wanted to report in my honest review. I also did report the bug to the developer just to make sure I'm not just talking crap about the game, but I actually want the issue fixed. I think at its core, meaning the single player experiences, Fast RMX is a great game that I've been enjoying for the last 3 days, and I guess you could even throw in the local multiplayer options in there too. It's challenging and fun, providing a nice new game for any racing fans out there that just bought a Switch. Furthermore, it's currently the closest thing that we have to playing F-Zero on the Switch for the time being. They even got the narrator/announcer who did the voice for F-Zero on the GameCube in this game. That's a pretty nice touch. Now with all that praise, there's still some work to be done with this title. Online multiplayer with friends is completely missing at launch, and some sort of ranking system would have been appreciated to better balance out matches if I'm going to be forced to play with random people online. Local multiplayer, either wirelessly with multiple devices or on a single device, plays great. It's just that online multiplayer that could still use some work. The last thing I want to touch on are the options, because one thing I really did appreciate is the fact that you can remap all the controls to your liking. I personally like the default controls, but my roommate prefers having the acceleration button mapped to a shoulder button, so he has the option to change that if he wants to in the options menu. Fast RMX is also one of the first few Switch games to make good use of the HD rumble. Although it's not as great as something to the likes of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Fast RMX does put it to good use. Fast RMX is by no means the best game on the Switch right now, but for the time being it's one of the most fun titles on the Switch at launch that could use a bit more polishing around the edges. If you're okay with that, it's a game I recommend you try out. It's only 20 bucks and it's keeping me happy so far this week. I'm actually giving away a copy of the game too to one of you, so just drop a like on this video and leave a comment down below with pretty much anything you want. Just mention that you're also entering the giveaway, and I'll choose a random winner and reply to them in the next few days. Thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned for more reviews on the Nintendo Switch and its games, and the other platforms as well. I'm currently working on my Snipper Clips review, and I'll be giving away a copy of that too in that review, so stay tuned for that. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.